Hey everyone, my name is Leela from WhimsyWild, and today's video I'm going to share with you guys my favorite brush pens for beginner calligraphers. Today I'll show you some of my favorite brush pens, so let's get started. So the first marker on the list is actually Crayola. Even though Crayola markers aren't technically brush pens, they work really well for calligraphy. They are really easy to get used to and to control just because the tip of the marker is not that flexible, meaning that it is perfect for beginners. And here I'm just using the Crayola markers to show you guys that you don't actually need brush pens to create beautiful calligraphy. You can just use Crayola markers laying around your house. Another good thing about the Crayola markers is that they won't fray. And also because of the markers' accessibility, they are the perfect brush pens to start off for beginners. And another good thing about the Crayola markers is, as I mentioned before, that you get a lot of control, meaning that it's really easy to practice your up and down strokes and get the hang of everything. As you keep practicing calligraphy, your hand starts to build muscle memory, meaning that your hand just automatically remembers the up and down strokes. And this is why the only way you can get better at calligraphy is if you practice every day. So this next pen I'm showing you guys is actually one of my favorites. It's the Tombow Fudinowski brush pen. And what I like so much about this pen is, like the Crayola marker, the tip isn't that flexible, meaning it's really easy to control and learn the up and down strokes. I think that if you're going to go out and buy a brush pen, please buy this one. It's literally my favorite. Lettering with this pen is so fun, and another plus side is that it doesn't fray. Now sometimes brush pens tend to fray over time, and that's just because you use it so much, or hard paper. Now because these tips aren't felt tip, they will not fray. I also feel like this brush pen was really helpful to me as a beginner, and I practiced the most with it. And this is because this brush pen was really simple and easy to use, and so it helped me develop my style for lettering. I think that everyone has a different style of lettering, which makes everyone's work unique. Anyways, yes, I totally recommend this brush pen for beginners, and also the links to all of the products in this video will be listed down below in the description box. Oh, and another thing that I really love about this brush pen is that it's so satisfying to watch people write with it. Okay, so the next calligraphy pens I recommend for beginners are the Tombow Dual brush pens. So what I love about the Tombow Dual brush pen is that when writing with it, it sort of bounces back to you. Another thing is that using the dual brush pen is pretty easy to control and get used to. Another thing to mention is that these brush pens are so pretty and they come in a wide variety of colors. However, you do have to take into account that these brush pens will fray, but I found that they don't fray as quickly as other brands of brush pens. So make sure when using these brush pens, use smooth paper and not textured watercolor paper, or else they will fray faster. Here I'm just using printer paper. These brush pens also come in packs of 10 in color palettes on Amazon. I'd also like to mention that these brush pens, along with the Crayola markers, are usable for watercolors. Another one of my favorite things about this brush pen is that they are dual, meaning that they are double-sided. So basically, these brush pens are a 2-in-1 combo because it's really 2 pens in one brush. So here is me using the other side of the brush pen. As you can see here, this part of the brush pen is the fine tip. Honestly, I use the brush tip of the pen more than the fine tip, but I can say that the fine tip is very handy for bullet journaling. You can use the fine tip or the bullet tip for fake calligraphy. Fake calligraphy is also really helpful for learning where to put the up and down strokes. So here I wrote out a word, and now I'm tracing in where the downstroke should be. And not only is fake calligraphy pretty helpful for learning the up and down strokes, it's actually really relaxing. And the last set of markers that I have here are the Sangria brush pens. Honestly, I don't recommend these pens for beginners, but they are one of my favorites, so I'm going to include it in this video. The only reason that this is one of my favorite pens is because of the tip. As you can see here, the pen is bristled, meaning that I can just use it however I like without worrying about it fraying. It also works like a normal brush pen, so you can easily do the up and down strokes. Personally, I like bristled brush pens better than felt tip just because they can't fray. And since these pens can't fray, I felt a lot more comfortable using them, especially since I like to do a lot of watercolor lettering or lettering on textured paper. Everybody likes different brush pens, so it's just whatever pen you're the most comfortable with. But because the Sangria pens are bristled, it does mean that the pen is a lot more flexible and harder to control. Even for me, when I first bought these brush pens, they were pretty difficult to use, but after I kept practicing with them, it became a lot easier. I also love that these pens came in such a large pack with so many vibrant colors. So the main reason why these are actually my favorite brush pens is because of the watercolor lettering you can do. So here I just wrote out a word in a light color. And now here I'm using a darker shade of pink to color over the lettering. And here I'm using another shade of pink to bring down the color and create an ombre effect. So here is me using the lightest shade. And here I am just going in with some highlights to make the lettering stand out. And here's what it looks like when you're done. Here's something else that I've done with these pens. Anyways, this is the end of the video. I hope that it was helpful and that you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thanks for watching!